Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. Yeah! And today we're continuing our survey of Monteverdi. I've got a big pile of Monteverdi, but it's not going to take us too long to get through because, like I said, Monteverdi tends to come in clumps. You got the operas, the madrigals, the sacred music, but that's Monteverdi. So we have a pile of madrigals here. This is the Rinaldo Alessandrini cycle with Concerto Italiano, which is marvelous. It was on the Opus 111 label, which was later subsumed into Naive, OVD's Valois, that thing, and it was concluded and completed in there, I think, under their aegis. But here were some of the original releases. And what do we got here? Well, I mean, it's like, okay. We have the second book of madrigals. These were in 5-for-5 voices in the older madrigal style before, all hell broke loose and Monteverdi started writing orchestral things with vocal accompaniments and calling them madrigals. Then we've got, this is, the 8th book of madrigals, volume 1. And we have the 8th book of madrigals, volume 2. So here we go. This is at least part of it. I mean, the 8th book of madrigals is huge. And as I pointed out in the last video, it has the Combattimento di Tancredi e Clorinda, which is here, and the Il Ballo delle Ingrate, which is also here. And it's wonderful. I mean, the performances are terrific. And here we've got volume 1, which has the Lament of the Nymph, and the love ones and some of the war ones. So, but it's still not all of it. So there's most or some of the 8th book of madrigals. The 5th book is right here, which is, let's see, who else we got performing on this thing. We've got some instruments and things going by now, and quite enjoyably. The 4th book here, and this collection of sacred music. So we've got parts of the Vespers and motets and the second Magnificat from the Vespers and some other things. So that's also with Rinaldo Alessandrini, all of which this stuff somehow, I believe, got reissued in various ways or boxed up somehow. Then we've got some more 8th book of madrigals. Oh, they're so popular. Let's not kid ourselves. With Jordi Savall. So this is the 8th book, and this has... I don't know, Sinfonia Altri Canti di Marte e di Suas, never mind. The Lament of the Nymph, and Altri Canti d'Amor, that's it, old love songs, that's beautiful. The Gira il Nemico, or the Ballo Voglio, I can't pronounce this stuff. Why do I even try? It's La Capella Real de Catalunya with Jordi Savall on Astre, which would now be Alia Vox if it's still. All this stuff got moved around. And I have to say, these French and Spanish labels are masters at buying each other out, reissuing stuff under different label names, all of which are long and unpronounceable. Even to them, believe me. So forget it. Monteverdi Vespers, Boston Baroque under Martin Perlman on period instruments on Telarc. Interesting project for Telarc, a good performance, but there are lots of others, many, and everyone will have their favorites. I collected these because I'm loyal to the Boston Baroque. I just think they were a very good group, and they made some beautiful recordings for Telarc. That was one of them. Orfeo with Jürgens. This was a classic version. It's like one of the very first Orfeos on period instruments and with the Camerata Academica Hamburg and the Hamburger Bläserkreis for Alte Musik, and it was recorded in 1974, right at the beginning when the period instrument people were going back and doing this stuff. And it's a beautiful performance of the complete thing with Nigel Rodgers as Orfeo and Emilia Petrescu as Euridice, and Anna Reynolds as Sylvia the Messaggera, and Proserpina, Ian Partridge, James Bowman is Shepherd 2, James Bowman, John Elwes. They always had to have James Bowman. He was such a difficult countertenor to listen to. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. This is a really classic version, an attempt to reconstruct the original sound of the work. And it's very beautiful. So that's cool. Then we've got the seventh book of madrigals, pardon me, on glossa with La Veneziana. Now they completed their Monteverdi madrigal cycle, and it all got boxed up, and I've had it upstairs, and we've talked about it already. It's one of the 3 big Monteverdi madrigal cycles that are available now. So it's lovely. Absolutely lovely. It's one of the great series of Monteverdi recordings. La Veneziana is an amazing group. So that's on glossa. And we have here, the 2 masses. Okay. The Missa in Illo Tempore and the Mass for 4 voices da cappella from 1650. And the Adoramus for 6 voices with La Chapelle Royale and Philippe Herreweghe on Harmonia Mundi. That's a keeper. Sacred Music Volume 2. See, I was talking about whether Volume 2 would show up because I knew that there were others. That was in the previous video, I guess, right? Yes, it was. With the King's Consort and Robert King. So we have Sacred Music Volume 2 and the 4-voice masses in here, by the way, and some other things as well. And I mean, it's with Carolyn Sampson and Rebecca Outram and Rogers Covey Crump and Charles Daniels and James Gilchrist and Peter Harvey and all those fun people. Such wonderful music. Absolutely fabulous. Another Combattimento. The Combattimento of Tancred and Clorindo. It's one of my all-time favorite vocal works. It's just so much fun. It's Tancred runs into Clorinda. She's dressed as a man. They challenge each other to a duel. They circle each other. They fight. He kills her, finds out she's a girl, and feels bad about it. All in 20 minutes or less. And it's just a brilliantly illustrative music. They pace each other. They fight. The music goes, yakka, 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 yakka. It's sort of the piece that invented the string tremolo. I mean, it's all kinds of nifty stuff here. Well, this one's with William Christie and Claire Brua and Sandrine Piau and Francoise Smelaz and Steve Dugardin and all kinds of other people. So that's cool on Harmonia Mundi. And last but not least, madrigals with the Consort of Music Concert of Music with Anthony Rulli from the 4th and 5th books. And here they are. What was this originally? Was it on L'Oiseau Lyre? Yeah. So it was L'Oiseau Lyre, but it was reissued as a double-decker. A double-decker L'Oiseau Lyre. See what happens with all this early music? They just call it these labels, these strange things, and you wind up killing yourself, twisting your tongue and trying to figure out what it is. And I mean, could they have made it any more difficult to find, identify, and remember all of this stuff? No, they couldn't have. But, we still stick with it because the music's stunning. So keep on listening, friends. There'll be a little bit more Monteverdi to come. Take care.